Recently, I had the great honor of speaking in another school community, teen mental health, teen suicide. This school had their share of lost students, even a staff member. When I got back from the school community after spending 2 days there, I get an email from a local pastor. And this individual has been a pastor in the community some 17 years. And the email shared a concern that the pastor felt that the school administration was putting their head in the sand and burying themselves and not being proactive in dealing with teen suicide, teen mental health. Now listen, I respect and I appreciate whether you're a local community pastor, you're a worship organization, any community organization, and you want to help. I appreciate and I'm very thankful for that. But I want to share my thoughts on this. And it's basically very simple. School administration, nobody is ever given a certificate on how to deal with the loss of a student, a staff member. Today, this is all relatively new. And it's not that they're burying their head in the sand. They are asking questions. They want to go about this in the right way so that there's not any negative feedback. They also have to legally, and I hate to talk about that, but legally they have to cover themselves. They got to get the right message out so there's no more rumors going around which can affect everybody and cause more problems. The other thing too, we got to be very careful about copycats. You know, this one suicide, how that's affecting everybody, and no suicide is ever the same in how it affects the community. I'm not saying that's good or bad, it just is what it is. So our school administration, they are like closing their circle and they're finding their mentors or local community administration and other local districts that may have had to go through this, and they're asking, hey, what did you do? How did you handle this? What do you think we should do to go about it? And I'll tell you, I tell every school administrator, when you have a suicide in your school community, the first thing you do is you take care of your teachers and staff, because they're the ones that are spending the most time with the kids. And so I want them to be compassionate and empathetic, and I want them to be very careful as they're helping the kids. They themselves got to be careful to not carry the brokenness or the darkness. And there's so many questions that people are asking. So we have to go about this in a very responsible, a professional, a charismatic, and empathetic type manner so that we can deal with this effectively and this doesn't affect our school year moving forward. So the better we deal with it, the better we address it accordingly, the sooner we're able to move forward as a school community, having learned and grown. Now, I'm getting kind of too far into this. I want to address the pastor or any community organization, because what the pastor then said in the email is, over like the past 4 months, they held 2 teen suicide mental health programs at their place of worship. And that's great. Thank you. We need more people to help normalize the conversation of mental health and get parents more involved. So I want to thank you. But I also want to say, as I close here, that after a crisis like this, you can't expect that just because you're a church community or a local community organization that you have the answers and that they need to use you to come in. Hey, remember what I said, we got to be so careful about who's coming in, the message they're sharing, and we have to go about this in a very professional, compassionate manner as to how we're going to deal with this. So here's what I do want to say to you. Instead of waiting until after a crisis happens and, hey, I'm available. Life is about relationships. So I want to invite you, whether you're a pastor, a community change agent, leadership, organization that really wants to do well with our schools, start now. reach out to the school administration, reach out to the teachers and counselors, offer to volunteer, let them know who you are. Maybe schedule a meeting and go visit with them so they can know who you are. This way, God forbid, your school community has a crisis, that relationship is already formed. They know who you are. You're a trusted, respected individual. They know that you'll vibe with the students or the teachers. They will reach out to you. But it doesn't happen when a crisis happens and then everyone's like, hey, I'm here. You build a relationship. You foster that relationship. You let them know you're here. You might send them an email. You might volunteer at different events. They know who you are. They can trust you. They know you care. They know the message you're going to deliver. And then when they need you, they can count on you. But also remember this, the relationship is built, so if a crisis does happen, you can reach out. Relationships there, it's a lot easier to be able to work with that school community. Just my 2 cents, my friends. I appreciate you listening. I'm Jeff Yalden.